All right. Started recording. So as soon as we started recording, the dogs go nuts. Cool.
I'm waiting for mine to do that.
You know what? If you guys do it, the guests does it, it's fine. If the host does it, it's not fine. It's the mailman. He comes every day.
This
Stop
one
it.
might be dangerous.
All right. You know what? We're just gonna go with it. It's gonna be great. All right. How's it going, everybody? My name is Trevor Hubbs, the Mule Deer Foundation podcast. Today, we're doing another one of our Campfire cuts, with just short hunting stories with people that I think are cool. Today's guest is Mandy, who is a professional photographer in Washington. She does a lot of contributions for the Mule Deer Foundation, the Blacktail Deer Foundation. She's on our social media. She's in our magazine. If you're hearing about her for the first time, shame on you. But yeah, Mandy's got a couple cool hunting stories to tell us. So going to hand it over to Mandy and let her talk.
Awesome. Thanks, Trevor. Good to see you again. Gosh, where to start with Blacktail? I think my favorite nickname that I've started calling them recently are menaces because they feel like it. So this is I guess a little bit of context might be good. I've been hunting for 6 years, and I started hunting blacktail on very small residential properties on a second deer draw tag. So not backcountry, not wilderness, just more or less the backyard deer that needed to be managed. Since then, I've attempted to figure them out more and more every year, and that's led to a lot of different experiences and memories, I think, is the most general way that I can classify those, both good and bad, but that's what keeps you going back out for more. I guess the one that jumps out is a buck from last year, and it was actually the third buck that I had harvested out of the same tree. So really, really cool, just history with that area. I got my butt kicked trying to get the first buck out of that tree, and the next year after that, it was a little bit easier, right? I had one day to go hunt, and I managed to rattle in a spike and get him down on that one day. And so then the third year went back out. I was like, I am pushing my luck, but I only have one day really to get it done, so might as well go back out to that same giving tree. And ended up doing some rattling sets first thing in the morning, and had this spike come on in, and he was a little bit slinky, right? He wasn't, stomping and doing anything, but he wanted to come and check out who was thrown down. And so that was first thing in the morning, and he came in, made a good shot. I saw him go down. It's like, this is fantastic. Last year, it wasn't until last light that I got my buck. This year, I'm going to be back and home before lunch. This is great. It's not nearly miserable. And got down, tracked him down, and got through processing. And so the previous two deer that I'd gotten out of this tree, I had done everything mostly solo up to the point of processing or dragging him out. And this deer was 100% solo. So first time 100% solo, and the deer's like, I know what I'm doing. I've got this. And got through, got him skinned down, got him quartered up, and mostly into bags. And I grabbed the last hind quarter, and it still had that shank with all the fur attached to it, and picked it up. It's like, this is my last cut. This is great. And grabbed the knife and went to go make the first cut. And just to get through those tendons, and I looked at it, and I looked how I was holding the knife, like, this isn't the right way to do this. I'm going to end up cutting myself. And so I made a very deliberate thing and flipped the knife the other way. It's like, cut away from your body. And the knife deflected and went up and just jammed into my thumb. And so it's like, went from being like, I'm doing the right thing. I'm thinking through this. And I've had another finger injury in the past. And so when the knife hit, like, that might be bone, and it rolled and deflected up. And so, yeah, it's just like, finger injuries are just, they suck. And so put the knife down, grabbed the thumb with the other hand, and then turned and looked at my pack and had that sinking moment. I was like, oh no, this isn't good. I don't have a med kit. Without even going through it, I don't have a med kit. And it still went and dug through the packs, like, confirmed, I don't have a med kit. And then you start looking around, it's like, what can I cut off? of clothing to wrap
Yep.
around the thumb, right?
I have converted many a tube sock to ankle sock.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
yep. I had that. I don't know if it's not going to show up on camera, but I did the same thing with my pinky on an elk hunt a couple of years ago, and ended up having to sew myself up with 6X tippet, and
Oh
then I got horribly
no.
infected. So don't do that officially. But yeah,
I couldn't. Okay, that's next level for going through with the sewing piece of it. The
but it
sock
is a
is
good reason to use non-barbed hooks or barbless hooks. You can rip right through stuff.
get the fish off easy.
Yeah,
Sew through
it's great.
skin. It's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, yeah. Uh, so sock would have been a better option from what I did, which was grab the one unused game bag, which was a smaller one. It's like, okay, I guess this is what it's going to be. Like sock would have been better, sleeve would have been better, anything that you go for any other scenario where you look and you don't have another kit in the pack. And so wrapped it around my thumb. It ended up looking like a softball. And the one thing that you don't realize about game bags is one, they're not absorbent, two, they're slippery, and then three, they turn into cement with liquid when they dry. So all of those things combined just wouldn't recommend it. And so it's like, okay, I had that moment of like looking down, it's like, this is going to suck and it's going to suck later. It's going to be miserable, but not right now. And so got it wrapped up, figured out how to put the deer into my pack with one hand, and then looked around like I don't want to make multiple trips. So it's like fit the whole deer in, tried to figure out how to, strap everything down, still have the bow. And then like I just remember looking down at this pack that I don't know how much it weighed other than it was a deer and gear. And like I need to figure out how to get this up and on. So did that. Thank goodness it was, a mile back to the car, so nothing crazy. Get back to the car. Luckily, pre-planning, I did remember to throw the celebratory beer in the cooler, so I had that.
Perfect.
Necessities, right?
All you need. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You got 10 fingers. You only have one beer.
Priorities. So did that. Cracked the beer open, and then just dumped everything in the car. Walked back without the pack because I couldn't get the straps weren't big enough to put the last two climbing sticks on the pack and then the platform. So went back and grabbed that stuff, did another scan, drove home. I drug the cooler out because like I just worked this hard for this deer. I'm not losing a single bit of meat off of it. So I needed to drag the cooler out, redo the ice, make sure everything was covering all the meat, and then go inside and deal with my thumb. And I remember it's like, and I hate stitches. I hate shots. I hate going anywhere near the ER. I'm such a baby when it comes to those things. And so I was sitting at the kitchen sink trying to soak the softball long enough to get it to unwrap from my finger with ice cold water so I hopefully couldn't feel it. And I remember like unwrapping it and looking at it. It's like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go in. And it's like probably gonna get a tetanus shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to talk yourself out of it, right? It's like, no, this is gonna be fine. I'll just clean it out real good. I don't need to deal with this. Not the case. So 10 stitches later, left the ER. The other fun thing is that the very nice lady who did stitch me up was not a big fan of hunting. So to distract myself when getting stitches, I decided to talk to her about hunting. And so it was I was like, you know what, this is going to be a good opportunity to talk to this lady about conservation and about what hunting means on a personal level and all of those things. Like I have a captive audience, whether she likes it or not. And to be fair, I was also captive, so figure might as well use it for the
yeah.
So that was first solo deer, first solo stitches, first solo bunch of different things, but
nice.
Might as well do it the hard way, right?
No, that's what makes the stories worth telling. Absolutely.
Yeah. And now I've got an exact date for when I need to go back in for another tetanus shot in a few years.
Perfect. Oh, yeah.
So it's taken a bit to like accept it. It's like, okay, I can laugh about it now. I still feel real stupid about it, but guess what? It's like I don't leave the house without a med kit in my pack, and I've got backup stuff in the car. It's like, learn the lesson.
What's the John Wayne quote where it's some people learn by listening to others, some people learn by watching others, and some people have to pee on the electric fence themselves. I'm the third type too, Mandy. I get it.
As much as I would like to deny that, based on my experiences, the third type, I kind of fit into that.
Yeah. Awesome. Is this more story or end story?
That's the end of that one.
That's the end of that one. All right, let me do a little outro real quick. All right, thank you so much, Mandy. First time listening, this is Campfire Cuts, which is just a shorter section of the Mule Deer Foundation podcast. Today we're focused on black-tailed deer. Tomorrow we may be focused on something else. Subscribe to our YouTube, social media channels, and then go give Mandy a follow. I'll put all her information in the description. I won't, but Ashley will, who is the podcast producer / catch-all person. So awesome. Appreciate you listening.
Thanks, Trevor.
Then we'll cut. Yeah. All right. You want to do this again? You got
Sure.
Another story?
All right,
I'll do.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay, I'm going to do another intro. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Trevor Hubbs, the Mule Deer Foundation podcast. Today we're here with another segment of our Campfire Cut section, which is basically where I talk to a hunter who turns out to be a good storyteller and whose company I enjoy, and you guys have to listen to it on the YouTubes. Today I'm back with Mandy for another Blacktail segment. Turns out I don't know that many Blacktail hunters, so you're going to be hearing a lot from Mandy. You already know Mandy, whether you think you do or not. She's been in our magazine as a photo essay contributor. She's been on our social media channels. All around great outdoors woman and conservationist. But yeah, she's here today with another story about something cool. So go ahead and tell us something, Mandy.
Well, first of all, we need to get you out here for some firsthand blacktail stories. See if the Midwestern person can't deal with a little bit of the rain and Pacific Northwest jungle and track one down.
I would love that.
Open invite.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, blacktail are so frustrating. But that I think is why when you do talk to the people that are, all in and trying to and really get proficient at finding them down, it's like there's a little bit of the stubbornness is definitely a character trait in there, and they're just very, very fascinating deer to try and figure out, and they're called ghosts for a reason. I've started trying to get some patterned, which if you talk to anybody who's really hunted blacktail for a bit, they'll laugh at you, which is what has happened. I'm so jealous of the whitetail folks. Like, oh yeah, I've got them patterned down. It's like, what is that like in hunting season? But one of the things that I think a lot of people don't know about blacktails is that you can actually rattle them in. And so, I've always watched a lot of the Midwest folks, and you rattle and you grunt, you do all those fun things and interact with the deer, which is why, I also love elk hunting, is because you're interacting with them. And so it's like, oh, you can do that for blacktail. And so started experimenting with that. And it's definitely, you got to have the right timing at that magic, end of October, right before rifle season ends, and right when the rut is kicking up for blacktail. They're going to start moving around. And so 3 years ago, I started messing with it with rattling, and it's just, rattle bag up in a tree at an area where they kind of converge to and at least pass through. And I had a lot of success, getting, I think in one day I had 4 bucks come into rattling. But it's interesting thinking about how they're coming in and looking at the behavior. The ones that I had coming in, they're a lot of smaller bucks, so spikes and whatnot, and they're just flinking in. So they're probably not the big guy in the area. So just every experience, I feel like there's something to learn from it of what to look for, what to expect, how to sit, how to look, or how to read the deer's behavior. Is that going to be, are there other deer around? Is that the big guy on the property? But so the last 2 years, I was able to rattle in spikes, and I was able to harvest both of those, the ones that that presented shot opportunities. And so this year, went out and made the decision to pass on going 4 for 4 for 4 deer in one day out of the same tree. And it's like, And it's tough, right? Because it's like at the end of the day, like I want that meat in the freezer, and that's what I eat the rest of the year. But
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's like this, and I'm in a really good position this year, thank goodness, with meat in the freezer where I can be a little bit more picky and choosy on what goes in, which is something I haven't experienced before. So it's like, all right, I want to learn a little bit more about this behavior, see what else we can do, see how aggressive it can be, see where else it works. And one of the things that I've been working on the past 2 years is expanding out. It's like, okay, I can find them at this one tree in this one area, and where like that's great, but how do you replicate success? And so this year it's been trying to get after them with a rifle, and that's a whole different ball game, right? It's like I'm used to being in the trees and in the woods and in the thick stuff, and with a rifle you're out in the open. It's like I don't know what they do out here. And so on Sunday I was out and I had rattled in, and I had a neat little dark horned year and a half like little crabclaw forky come in, and got to watch him, and that was really cool. And then I had another spike come in and got to watch him, and that was really cool. And I ended up seeing 3 more deer that day. It's like, you know what? No, like I'm not done yet. I want to learn a little bit more. There's another spot that I want to go out with a rifle and actually see if I can't get on a deer that way. And it's interesting how like those are 2 entirely different hunting styles, right? Between the tree saddle and then the rifle. But at the end of the day, the spot that I had found with the tree saddle that worked where deer did want to be in, it's like, okay, where can I look adjacent to that where I can sit with a rifle and actually get eyes on them? Not where I want them to be, but where they will be in an area at the right time. And so it's been really neat because, pulling up the maps, like, okay, I know they're going to be in this deep, dark timber. I know that they're going to be on this side of the slope, and I know that they're going to be transitioning through this area. And while I really wanted to see them in that transition area because it was this nice big open, right, 300 yards of just nothingness, they're not going to be there in the middle of the day during hunting season. Like they're just there's a reason why they're here, and there's a reason why they're so good at surviving. And so it's like, okay, how can I get on an area where they can actually pop out? And so went through and found an area where it's like, okay, I know that based on where I've seen them before for trying to figure out tree saddle stuff, they're going to be in this deep, dark timber. They're going to be coming up through here. And if I'm here at last light, I've got a really good chance at seeing something pop out. And so left after work and had just enough time to like bomb out, haul down the gravel, and try and get to the right spot. And just had barely gotten set up, and I had been glassing as I went. Finally sat down, looked over, pulled the binoculars up, and I'm looking at a deer. It's like, what? It's like, there's no way.
Awesome.
And so got eyes on the deer. It was about 200 yards or so. And I think I probably was about 5 minutes late. She was coming up and out. And so right now it's like pre-rut. So it's like hoping that there was a buck behind her. I think that she heard me crunching along a little bit. If you've ever been in the Pacific Northwest, those clear cuts are not quiet and they're not efficient to walk in. And so I think I got caught, but was able to look at her. She wasn't, staring at me specifically, just the general area, a couple tail flicks, and just walked off without a care in the world. But it's interesting, right? Because it's like, okay, I know how to find deer in one place. How do you apply that to somewhere else? How do you look at it? And then to go out there, and even though, I have the tag is good for a buck, I didn't see illegal deer. Just having that idea of like, this is where I think it's going to be, and sitting down, there's a deer on the X. It's like, no way. So I don't know. I guess that's not necessarily, a neat story about getting a buck on the ground or anything like that. But it's just, I feel like what all of, hunters are going to go through at some point of trying to figure it out and then put the puzzle pieces together. But then it's like, you still have to have like, it very well could have sat down there, not seen a single thing, but then like going through and analyzing, was I in the wrong spot? Just the timing, there's so many things that have to line up, but I don't know.
No, I like how you said, like, what was it? Where you're like, not where I want the deer to be, but where the deer are actually going to be. I do that to myself all the time, whether I'm out stalking mule deer in the prairie, or it's not like I have a picture of how it's going to go in my head. And I confuse that. I know it's illogical, but I confuse that with what's actually going to happen. Where it's like, see deer at 800 yards. I'm gonna like, all right, I'm gonna crest these 7 little ridges, and then I come up, and he's gonna be right there. Yeah. And I get so focused on that's what I'm about to see, and then I come up on that 7th ridge, and he's 300 yards the other direction, and there's just
Yeah,
I mean, I've done it with whitetail too, and you just get so focused on what you want to happen, you forget that the deer's going to do what the deer's going to do.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best pieces of advice that I've gotten about hunting is like you have that picture in your head of how you want it to go, and it doesn't matter.
Yes.
You got to think of what that animal needs and what it wants and where it wants to be, which is not going to be convenient for you, but it's where you need to be.
Oh, awesome. Well, I appreciate your time again, Mandy. Again, if you're listening, this is Campfire Cuts with the Mule Deer Foundation podcast, and today we were talking to Mandy about some blacktail stuff. I'll put all her social media stuff in the description or something wherever this ends up going, but you should follow Mandy anyway, whether you liked her story or not, and tune in next time for more cool hunting stories. Thanks.
Thanks, Trevor.
Yeah, and that's that, and I'll do the stop recording, and then